daylight back to nighttime. Now, circle completion, like rain to the river, to the ocean, returns to the sky. After you were born, you forgot what was true. Like a boomerang, it will come back to you. May not recall what you came here to do. Like a boomerang, it will come back to you. It will come back. It will come back. It will come back to you. All that you desire, if you ask it to, like a boomerang, will come back to you. It may seem like fortune sailing out of the blue, but like a boomerang, it will come back to you. It will come back. It will come back to you. It will come back to you. Every little thing that we say and do, like a boomerang, it will come back to you. And all the love you give, if you want it to, like a boomerang, it will come back to you. It will come back. It will come back. It will come back to you. It will come back to you. Oh, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Let's give Jim and Cole some more love. Welcome, welcome to the Revealing Experience. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see everyone. How are we doing tonight? Woohoo! Awesome, awesome. So we're going to sing our welcome song. You know this truly by heart. Here we go. Come on in, we welcome. We welcome. We welcome you.
Come on in.
Come on in, we welcome. We welcome. We welcome you.
Let go.
Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy, and cheer. So come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
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 Come on in. We welcome you. Let go. Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy, and cheer. So come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
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 Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. Beautiful, beautiful. Ah, Mello, it's like she's never seen her. Right? But we have that feeling kind of when we come on Wednesday. It's like that week sometimes seems so long. And then we're so happy to see each other. So we get it, Mello. We get you. And so we sing Reveal. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, love is what I see. Reveal the love in me. The peace. Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me. The joy. Reveal, reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me. Reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And
Every time I open
love
up,
is what I see.
love is what I see.
Every
Every time I open up,
peace.
peace is what I see.
Oh yeah, every time
Every time I open
joy.
up, joy is what I see.
Reveal the love.
Reveal the
Love in me. Hey, Candace.
Riding on the beautiful music of Jim and Cole and Sonny, and reveling, reveling in the love, the peace, the joy, which is God. I feel that joy, I feel that love, I feel that peace right here, right now, in this sanctuary, knowing that this service is one in which each of us experiences yet more deeply the love within ourselves, and knowing that we are love, for we are God expressing, each of us. That love, which is God, radiates out from us, touching all who know us, all who think of us, all who experience us. And it is so very good. And feeling that love, I take my thoughts to the work of a modern philosopher, Hugh Prather, and his wife Gail. The title of the book is Notes to Each Other. And as I went through this book, it so talks about love. Many jumped out at me, and I will share a number of different readings. To love you deeply and well is not to agree with you on all occasions, or to say yes to every last whim, or to ignore my own needs, even the selfish ones. It is to be the keeper of your goodness, the one who never forgets who you are and where you are going. It is not an appearance, an anxious effect, a set of silly courtesies, or some romantic posturing. It is to choose the vision of my soul which can never fail to see your deepest longings. It is the great and final decision that you are as innocent now as the hour you were born. We have within us two ways of hearing. One comes from the body and is sensitive to anything that's different from it. The other comes from the point of joining and is sensitive to anything that affects unity. One hears in parts and pieces, the other hears in wholeness. And when love is finally valued for itself and no longer thought of as a means of attracting, holding, or manipulating other people, happiness will abide, regardless of what's seen is before the eyes. And so it is. And now I don't mean to walk away, because we're going to hear what Reverend Sunshine says about love radiates, which she knows so very well, because she radiates love wherever she goes. And whenever any one of us thinks of her, we feel that love.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And welcome home, Candace. Thank you for that beautiful prayer and that beautiful reading. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Wow, what great music, what great energy. Wow, what great looking people. This must be the sexy bunch. You know, because love is sexy. Love is the new sexy? Okay, there you have it, right from Sunny Daye. We're going to pass the baskets now, and then we'll be out of here pretty quick tonight. Last week, I had an opportunity to introduce a little bit about love. And it's interesting because love is this elusive word that sometimes is an action or a verb or a pronoun, and I'm not an English major, so I'm just making stuff up right now as to what it is, an adjective, an action word, or, you know what I mean? It's like it has components in all of those areas, if you will. But when we really begin to think about what is love, or that sometimes we equate God equals love, or that God is love, meaning a quality, meaning an essence. What is it exactly? A lot of times we get caught up in this idea that it's a feeling tone, or that it's an action. Love is what love does. Or that, I like my early definition of love from my beautiful mother as she had the belt in her hand and was whipping my butt. I'm only doing this because I love you. Hate me then, Mama, hate me. You know, or if you only loved me, you would do such and such and such, or prove your love to me. And, you know, throughout our lifetime, whether we are young or whether we are sages, love has meant so much, and yet when we kind of boil it down, maybe sometimes so little. You know, some of us are seeking love, or we want to express this love, or we want to receive love, and yet when we really look around and we look at who we might be partnered with, or who we might be family to or kin with, or who we may be working with, it's kind of like, is this really love, or am I just really just kind of this lone human being in the world, just kind of making it through and making connections with people. And yeah, I like them okay. You know, they're all right. And how many of us actually feel that we have a real grasp on this idea that is love? When it boils down to it, when I lay my head on my pillow at night, can I actually just kind of be in love? Can I be love? Can I feel the love? Am I radiating the love? Am I the love? Thank you. Cole says yes. And how many of us could actually say that? Can actually say, yes, I know of what you speak. And how many of us are saying, sunshine, I want to know of what you speak. I want to feel that. I want to have this relationship. I want to have this experience. I want to be able to say that that song, I want to know what love is. How many of us really want to know what it is, really want to feel it, really want to express it, really want to radiate it? Just, oh. You know, how many of us really want to just like, when you see me, you see love. You know, when you see me, you see love. And sometimes it is this elusive thing. Only because so many times all the love novels, all the love stories have these tragic endings, and all the Harlequin books. Is it Harlequin? I don't even know because I don't read them. But, you know, I've heard of such things. You know, I mean, so much so that, like, love these days has gone to the vampires, you know? Next thing you know, you got 2 marks on your neck because you've been bitten, and it's love. So in spiritual community, when we speak of love, especially here in Centers for Spiritual Living, in spiritual community, when we come together, what we're talking about when we're talking about love is the essence of the Most High. The essence, the isness, the allness of God. And again, when I talk about God, of course, I'm not talking about a deity per se, as much as I'm talking about an energetic, a creative intelligence, that energy that is love. That love that is expressed so deeply that just has created out of itself more of itself in various forms and fashions. And so when I talk about love radiates, or love radiating, or that when you see me, you see love, really, it's about now making that jump and that leap, that what we learned in the beginning of the year, as we've been reading our Science of Mind book a little bit at a time, a few pages, a few paragraphs a day, what we've learned in January was that there is God. There is this love energetic. There is simply God. That's all that really exists, and everything has its beingness in God, and that there is nothing outside of this creative intelligence. Well, it's the same about love. We're just making that leap, that now, instead of using the G-O-D, we're using the L-O-V-E, the love. The love. Love has created everything out of itself. Love is who and what I am. And if that's easier to grasp, because I know that still some of us struggle with having the capacity to stand in our godness and say, when you see me, you see God. Because a lot of us have been taught that it's blasphemy, or that it's blasphemous to say or to declare such a thing. But Jesus, the Christ, said, when you see me, you see the Father. You see, the Father that sent me. He's simply speaking to that same truth that God has created everything out of itself. Therefore, that energetic that is God is who and what I am. And we're simply now making the transition that when you see me, you see love. It is love who sent me. And using that feeling tone and using that love energetic to really own and really step into a little bit deeper the reality of who we are. That we are love. That love is who I am. But the further away I get from it, because I have these misconceptions, these false ideas, these mistakes, if you will, when I think that I'm not love, or that I'm not lovable, or that I'm not capable of loving, what I'm really saying is I'm not capable of being the perfect and divine way that God expresses on this planet in human form. You know, our reading for today out of the book really complements lots of the readings that Candace read for us today. Our reading for today was simply a meditation on page 522. The love of the all good, and mind you, anytime the letters are capitalized, it's talking about the power and the presence, the life that is God, the one. So all good, A-G, are both capitalized. The love of the all good is within me and through me. That love goes out to meet all who come into my atmosphere. It radiates to all and is flowing through all. My love within me is perfect. Thy love within me is perfect. So it's interesting that Ernest Holmes writes, my love, and he's speaking of God. Imagine having such an intimate relationship with God as our very life that we call it my love. I know Susan J. Paul, who was a wonderful, wonderful artist and writer, musician, called the Most High my love. It's such a tender, tender name for such a powerful, powerful essence. But it speaks to the tenderness and it speaks to the capacity in this all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present isness, that it has the capacity to be love and to be love itself. And when I recognize my oneness, when I recognize that my life is love, then I can't help but open up and allow that love that is my life to express and radiate, especially when we get upset. Ooh, that's the kicker right there. It's like, okay, let's check it out. How loving can I be in traffic? I mean, it was interesting coming this evening and just not only watching the mental chatter, but also hearing what comes out of my... You know, that guy in front of the truck is going so slow right about now. Like, don't they know I have to be in Encinitas to give a talk tonight? How loving can I be in that moment? How loving can I be in moments of pressure, of deadlines? How loving can you be in heated times when there's differences of opinion happening? How loving can we be? How can we radiate the love that we are, in times when we're watching television and we're watching what's happening in Missouri? How loving can we be? when it is indeed who we are. So if love is who I am, and it is incumbent upon me to radiate who I am and who I be, and yet the words that are coming out of my mouth or my mind chatter or my actions are proving very little love, how do I get back to knowing my truth? How do I get back there? How do you get back there? What was that? Affirmations. Okay. So we can use affirmations. A great affirmation might be, I am the love that I seek, or I am love in the moments of challenge. We might even begin to even recite the St. Francis of Assisi's prayer. You know, that where there is hatred, may I bring love, or where there is discord, may I bring harmony. So affirmations are an excellent tool to bring us back to that place of, oh, I am love. Sometimes we're so needy. Sometimes we just kind of like, well, where's my love? Like, hello, who's got some love for me? You know, like, where's my hug? Who's kissing up on me? You know, who's going to show me some appreciation? Where's the love? Up in here. And I know that we laugh because we've probably experienced that, you know. And after all I've done for him, look at what I get. After all the years that I spent raising that child, or after all the years that I put up with his or her stuff, and this is how he or she treats me, should be a law against it. And we're looking to get like, where's my piece of love right now? And so in situations like that, affirmations are great. Pausing and dropping to our knees, if you will, whether it's just mentally or sometimes even just going to a corner and just dropping to our knees or sitting down and taking a pause to take a minute in meditation, a minute in prayer, a minute to just have a talk with ourselves. Because I must bring the love that I seek. I am the love that I seek. It is who and what I am. And when I begin to project or begin to think that it's going to come from out there, that's just like saying God is out there and I'm searching for God out there, instead of taking the time to remember, remind myself, or search within. Because it's not out there. It's only out there when I radiate it. It's only out there when I give it. It's only out there when I provide it. And I see it even sometimes before I provide it, because I'm so willing to be the love that I want to receive. And when I'm looking, not because I need love, but when I'm looking with the eyes of love and through the eyes of love, that's all I ever see. So I'm not asking, where's the love right now? I'm not feeling it. Because I'm looking through the eyes of love, already being fulfilled and filled full enough to radiate the love that we are, the love that I am. And when I'm full and when I recognize that this is the truth of who I am, when I see you, I can't help but see you radiate and be the love that is. You know, lots and lots of times we use the word love as a placeholder for God. Because sometimes God seems so big, and even though love is huge, it seems to be a little bit smaller sometimes than the allness that God is, but they are indeed one and the same. You know, it's interesting because in 12-step program, there's a prayer. It comes in the third step. For those of you who may be familiar with 12-step programs, and it says, God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thy will. And lots of times when I work with folks in 12-step recovery programs, they have a hard time with God because, you know, God is that punishing God that's writing down good or bad, that, you know, that God idea of their childhood that they have to walk the straight and narrow, and if they don't, they're an abomination or not in God's favor. And so many times when I'm working with folks in 12-step recovery program, what I do is I say, well, then let's just take the quality that is God, that's an equivalent to God, but, you know, it may not have all that stuff attached to it. You know, it's almost like the word G-O-D has Velcro strip on it, you know, and it just attracts all these, you know, sometimes good, sometimes not so good connotations and meanings, right? So it's like, okay, let's just take God right here, and we'll just put God right here. And why don't we just use love? So imagine for a minute that same prayer, but now with love. Love, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and to do with me as thy will. Imagine if we were to go to love boot camp. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I know many folks who go to boot camp, whether it's the military or the police academy, and before you know it, all of a sudden their whole mindset changes. You know, I used to play softball with a woman who went into the academy, and we would sit on the bench, you know, waiting to bat. And there we were, just kind of hanging out, messing around, talking smack, having a good time. And we just were enjoying each other. And yet when she joined the academy and started going to the academy, AKA like their boot camp, and started their training, all of a sudden, she kind of was like sitting with us, but she wasn't laughing so much. All of a sudden, I saw her kind of sizing up people, you know, and recognizing facial recognition and being able to describe people. You know, because when you're a police officer, you need to be able to kind of like blonde hair, blue eyes, or brown hair, brown eyes, about 5'6", you know, and all of a sudden, this is kind of like, she started transforming. And instead of being just kind of loose and kind of hanging out and playing ball and relaxed, she's more like stiff and more like very reserved. And it's like, wow, I noticed a transformation. So imagine for a moment that we enlist and we enroll in the Love Academy. You know? Yeah, you like that? I like that too. We should start something. I think we'll call it the Revealing Experience on Wednesday nights, you know? And imagine this Love Academy that we just enroll in. And in this Love Academy, we're simply learning that we are the love that we seek, that we are love, that love is us, and that we radiate that, and that we're open. Imagine folks not being overly jealous because you have too much love in your life. Like, really? You know, some people think, oh no, you just love too many people. And it's like, there's enough room. Don't worry. I'm not going to run out of love for you because I love you. And I'm not going to run out of love for you because I love you, and so forth and whatnot. Imagine really being in the Love Academy, really recognizing that love has no limit, that it is a limitless source, and that it is who we are, so it can never really be exhausted. and that we have the capacity not just to love our family members or the person that we're with, but we have the capacity to love the world. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, and that's what Ernest Holmes talks about, and that's what all the great avatars talk about, that there's even enough room for us to love the people who we might think are unlovable, even those who we may not believe or think that are living a productive life. Because the thing is that what stops us from really loving and really radiating love is our judgment of others and our judgment of ourselves. Oh, well, he had that coming. Oh, well, he's a terrorist. Oh, well, he's a good Samaritan. Like, what kind of stuff is good Samaritan? What, are all Samaritans bad that you have to have a good Samaritan? Like, really, like that kind of stuff doesn't make sense to me. Just saying, oh, that's a good American. That's exactly it. You know, oh, that's a good woman. What, the other ones are no good? You know what I mean? Like, to have the capacity to not to fall for the okie doke, not to be bamboozled, not to be skewed by the world of effects, and to really begin to examine the things that we've been taught about who each other is and about who we really are, and recognize that each and every one of us, regardless and irrespective of how we show up on this planet, is God. Each of us, all of us, either it's all or nothing. Either we're all God or none of us are God. Either we're all love or none of it is love. And the truth is that there's only love. And yet, sometimes we only experience a small piece of the pie. And we only experience a small piece of the pie. Should I tell you why? Okay, this is going to be hard for me to say, but I have to say it. We only get a small piece of the pie because that's all you're able to accept. And if we want more, we have to open up and accept more. And that's the truth. We cannot let the past set the precedent. We cannot say, well, I've been hurt in the past by loving my friends or my neighbors or loving this man or that woman or that person. And so I'm not going to love again. And I'm not going to allow myself to get there again. Or I'm not going to show and be loving because, you know, they take my kindness for weakness. And the truth is that we only get a small piece of the pie because that's all we are accepting. That's all we're asking for. And if we want more, we must become more. And it's actually not even becoming more, but we just have to open up for more and recognize that we are that love. That it is already within us. It is already who we are. It's not outside of us. But to the degree in which I'm able to see the love around me, it's to that degree that I am accepting of the love that's around me. It's kind of like going to the ocean to fill up a thimble compared to going to the ocean to fill up a bucket or a tanker truck. How much are you willing to become, meaning become consciously aware of that you are it, so that you radiate that, so that folks see that that's who you are, and that's just how you live. That's just how you live. That's just who you be. I love saying that. That's just who you be. That's just what you get to experience. Because to the degree in which you recognize that that's who you are and you allow that to simply flow from you because it is you, that is exactly the degree that you see it and you know that it is the reciprocal nature of life, the ebb and the flow of life. That as you radiate, you also receive. That's just the way that it is. That's the nature of life. Yeah. Y'all are thinking about it now. I'm looking at y'all. Y'all are like, whoa. Some of your hair is blown back like you've been on a ride, a roller coaster now. I done blew your hair back now. Like, woo. Mm-hmm. So what are we willing to do this week as we begin to just kind of recognize and review how we express love, how we are love? You know, this week, take a look at pausing when agitated, when irritated, when things seem to be going awry, if you will. See if you can catch yourself when conflicts begin to kind of come up a little bit. See if you can just catch yourself and pause and say an affirmation. Or in your mind's eye, just see yourself just dropping to your knees and falling into your heart. See if you can indeed just get out of your head and drop. You know, sometimes that's the biggest drop. Because, you know, in an argument or in a verbal discussion that's heated, sometimes I just want to be right more than I just want to experience the love, and I have to get my point across. And that it's only a few inches from my head to my heart. It's only a few inches, but sometimes that's the furthest distance to just be able to let go and go, no, I let go of my position. I just want to experience love. I just want to radiate love. I just want to be love. I just want to experience the love. So this week, when we find ourselves in those positions, let's remind ourselves about our affirmation, about simply dropping from our head to our heart. About pausing to just take a minute in meditation or a minute in prayer to remind ourselves of the truth of who we are. So that we might emerge from that situation instead of spewing stuff that we don't want to have to make amends for and kind of clean up later. Instead of spewing that we actually radiate our godness, our love, the truth of who we are. So let's take some time in the silence. Just a few minutes. And again, the words of Ernest Holmes, whether it's for ourselves or for our world, especially in a time where the news tells us that there's not enough love. Let us remember that there's always enough love. Love to the world. My love goes out to everyone in the world. I do not exclude anything, for I love all nature and everything that is. My love warms and lightens everything that it touches, and it goes out into all places. The love flowing through me is a power to all who come into contact with it, and all feel and know that I love. Love within me is complete and perfect. Love within me is complete.
My soul sings out to you, my love. Soul sings out to you.
My
soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
And as we simply recognize the love that is our very self, it is our very life. That God is love, and that love is life, and life is this energetic, that we are it, that it is expressing beautifully and magnificently as us. That to the degree in which we accept that this is the truth of who we are, we begin to radiate and to live from this place, and all begin to recognize and see and become awakened to the reality that our life is love and that our love is life. So how grateful I am for this time in the silence, where we have had an opportunity to anchor this consciousness, this awareness, this truth, that we've become aware and awake and alert to the truth of who we are, that we have said no to mediocrity and said yes to the allness of life. How grateful I am that each of us here, within the sound of my voice, those live streaming, those watching later on, those here present, that we have said yes to being more of our true self by the renewing of our minds, by the opening up and becoming aware of the truth of who we are. So I give thanks for this spiritual community. I give thanks for the opportunity to be the one to remind us of the truth of who we are. I give thanks that we have this blessed, blessed space called Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, where we can simply ease in, sit down, and be reminded of our truth. How grateful I am that we recognize who we are and that we see each other through the eyes of love. So for this and so much more, I give thanks, blessing each and every one of us present, and those who have called our prayer lines, those who have filled out prayer requests. We bless Reverend Fran right where she is. And if there's anyone who we're holding in prayer right now, anyone who we just simply want to speak a word for and about, just simply say their name in your heart, or simply say and speak their name aloud in this moment right now. What we're knowing is that right where they are, God is. God is living in, through, and as them now. So we're simply calling forth the perfection that is God to be revealed in, through, and as each and every one of us, even now. And for this, I give thanks, and let it be so. And so it is. Amen. I'm loving you right now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to invite our ushers to come forth. Thank you, Melissa and Dennis, for your sacred service. I'd like to also invite you to just take out your gifts, your tithes, your offerings, that which you've brought to share with this spiritual community. And to thank you in advance for the investment that you make in us. The joyful investment, that which you joyfully give,
knowing that we have been given so much and we're simply taking a portion of that, and we're simply blessing this spiritual community with that. That we continue to thrive, to keep our doors open, to have programs and services so that we have the liberty and the freedom to come, not just on Wednesday nights, but Sundays, and for classes and for events and for all the many things that Seaside Center for Spiritual Living offers us. Thank you so much for investing in this spiritual community, and may it continue to uplift you and to hold you in the highest. And so as you take your gifts, your tithes, your offerings, and you hold it close to your heart, simply bless it with a thanksgiving, knowing that what you are about to give just comes back to you even more and more and more. And that the more we give, the more we receive, and we receive so much, so often. And as you place them in the basket, just simply be blessed, knowing that it returns onto you. So go forth, ushers. Thank you for your service. As you give, you receive. So please open your hearts, radiate some love. We can practice right now. And please welcome Sunny Daye, Jim Bianchi, and Cole Miller.
Know when this change happened, seems like overnight. Now I'm rooted in the Spirit. I'm rooted in the Spirit. It happened without a fight. Something's new about me. I feel it with each breath. There's a majesty about me. A majesty about me. I feel it in my step. Something else is more important to me. Yes, I'm changed. I'm changed. Love is first in my life. God is first in my life. Oh, I'm changed. First in my life, second to none. Oh, oh, something's changed. Ooh, it's changed in me. Yeah. See, I can take whatever this old world can bring, 'cause I'm rooted in the Spirit. I'm rooted in the Spirit. I can stand the rain. See, when you're born of the Spirit, you're made so brand new, and all the time you wasted, all the time you wasted is given back to you. A new heaven and a new earth. Something's changed in me. When you're born of the Spirit, you're made so brand new, and all the time you wasted, all the time you think you wasted, it's given back to you. Yes, I'm changed, sing y'all. I'm changed. Love is first in my life. God is first in my life. Oh, I'm changed. I am changed. God is first in my life. Second to none. Oh, something, something, something. Ooh, it's changed in me. Yeah, something, something. Ooh, it's changed in me. I feel it in my walk. I feel it when I talk to myself. I don't say, oh, Sonny, you suck. I say, oh, Sonny, I love you. Something's changed in me. Something's changed in me. Yeah.
Sunny Daye, Jim Bianchi, Cole Miller. Wow. Amazing. Wow. Made me a little teary. I know. Amen. It's true. Okay. I know, right? Like, can anybody speak? This is usually the time where we have an opportunity to hear from those in the community who are also revealers of truth, and just want to simply share with our community something that you've experienced, a joy, anything. Reveal your truth. Hi, Bruce.
Hi, thank you. Excuse me. This weekend I went to a bat mitzvah. My granddaughter is Jewish, and she's turned 13, and so they had this bat mitzvah. And what I wanted to share with you about that was they have pews like you would find in most churches, and they have hardcover books in them. I don't think it's their Torah. Is that what they call it? Huh? Oh, anyway, they sing from this and they recite phrases out of it. And I was looking at it as they had a number of pages, but I was quite taken by the something that I wanted to share with you. It said in there, we are in the image of God, which I hadn't thought about. Jewish people, how would they think, about religion? I don't talk to my son-in-law about it very much, or any other Jew that I know, or any other Presbyterian either, as far as that goes, But I just don't do that. But the other thing I said is that we are in the image. We're made in the image of God, and the Father is within us. Now I don't know. I've never been to any other churches of Christian Science, so I don't know if other churches talk about the Father within us or not, or if it's just here, But if they do, that's really cool. But if they don't, and the Jews are doing that for a moment, and we're doing that, there's a lot of commonality there that I had not given much thought about, because I don't know much about them as a religion, and even more than about any other church. But I was quite taken by that, and I wanted to share with you how good that felt to realize that others are doing the same thing we're doing. Now, I didn't go through the rest of the book, but those two statements really stood out, and I thought, that's really, I think, because I thought we in this church here were quite up to date, what's the term, We are different, right? We aren't so different, are we? But I found myself kind of holding that being different. I feel that lack of commonality with my fellow man, and I realized, I should really stop and look at that a little bit, because even though people don't necessarily understand what I'm talking about, if I should get into a conversation very much, maybe there's more there than I realized. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share.
Great realization.
Hello. First of all, I want to say Sunny is always magnificent. Just, really brings me joy. Secondly, I wanted to say that when you talk about, love radiating, and you bring up the traffic jam or the person in front of you that you're exasperated with, I've decided that person's my guardian angel. And that person reminds me that I make mistakes on the road. I need to love them, because, boy, when I make a mistake, I want you to love me. And driving back and forth to work for many years, I drove over Del Dios Highway, and it's a one-way, one lane. And invariably, I'd get behind somebody that was slow, and I realized that it's a dangerous road. That person is my guardian angel. They're slowing me down, and they're guiding me to work safely every day. So anyway, I wanted to say that. And then lastly, I was gone for a little over a week up and visiting my brother up in Oregon in a small little town, and I finally was able to use the live streaming, and I got to see you last Wednesday night, so I didn't feel like I missed anything. And then I also got to see Kathy Hearn on Sunday, and that was another joyous experience. So thank you for being here.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I come on Sundays. It's my first Wednesday. I usually work Wednesdays, but I got the one night off, so spent it well. I have a thought and then also a question. So I'm Jewish, and I was also bat mitzvahed, and just kind of going off of what you said. It's interesting because the foundation of Judaism, I grew up very religious, is, we're all created in God's image, and we should live our life as an expression of God. And I didn't totally resonate with that until I came here. So it's kind of interesting how spirituality took me back to religion, but the underlying messages are very similar. And then a question that I had that anyone else could give input. I struggle with, if God is expressing through every person and everything is intended to be in God's image, I get stuck on, so did God mean for this person to be a murderer? Was this baby supposed to die? Those are the hard things for me to grasp. So, yeah.
Thank you and welcome. Good night. Yeah? Oh, great. We ask that question a lot here. And the brief answer, outside of when we get into foundations class, we talk about it a lot more, is that life is eternal, period. Each life is the life that God is, and life is eternal. And even when we call things atrocities, or how come this person died, or that person didn't yet, or things of that nature, or how come so-and-so is a murderer, in human form, we forget that we are the Almighty. We forget that we are love. And so we're capable of performing such atrocities on one another because we forget. The good news is that because life is eternal, that life simply is transformed from the humanity, from human life to spirit form to life eternal. But because we live in the duality of human existence and the absolute, we still feel the pain of the atrocities, like in Missouri, or AIDS, or a baby dying, or But life is life. So I always question, why do I feel worse when a baby dies versus someone who's lived a full life, like, you know? And I get to recognize that I'm putting more value on one life over another, and I get to recognize it's all life. It's all life. And life is eternal. And we forget sometimes who we are. Okay, you gonna wrap it up for us, darling?
Yes.
Perfect.
I just wanted to say, I wrote this thing while you were talking, although it was maybe a little rude.
Writing while I was talking?
Yeah.
Cool.
But my
Takes
mom,
notes. She
my
takes
mo-
notes.
my mom just wanted to say, for me, after Sunny sang the song, to read this. I said it from my school, kind of, but anyway, I know in my mind I can complete this year, and it will be better. I am loved. I am God, and I have a family all over the world. My life is within me, is perfect. I mean, my life is perfect. My life is good. My life is good. My life is good. My life is God.
Amen. Thank you, Nicolette. I wish my teacher made me write that instead of, I will not chew gum in class, I will not chew gum in class, I will not chew gum in class. Excellent. A successful revealing experience. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much to Melanie doing our sound, to Tim doing our live streaming. Thank you so much to Kathy, who's been radiating the light for us. And thank you so much to Candace, both of our practitioners. One presented here on the podium, the other one's been radiating the light, knowing the perfect unfoldment of our time together. And both of our practitioners, and maybe even others who are in the audience, will be available after service for prayer. So if you'd like a 1-minute miracle or a prayer, if you'd like to remember the truth of who you are, please stop in our chapel before you leave tonight and hang out with our practitioners for a moment so that they might pray for and about you, knowing the truth and helping you to recognize that truth and to have it be made manifest in your experience. So that's who we have here today. Want to also make sure that I thank our great musicians, Cole Miller on the percussion aspect of life, Jim Bianchi, thank you so much. Love your playing tonight. And our fabulous Sunny Daye, thank you so much. Thank you to our ushers, and thank you to Ginny Mills, our coordinator, making sure that everything is beautiful tonight. Thank you for being here. And please rise, and let's sing our closing prayer together. Nicolette.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand.
I'll see you in the family room. Bring a friend next week.
Could you be loved and be loved? Would you be loved and be loved? Oh yeah, nothing like that. Even try to school ya. We got the mind of our own. Go to hell. What you thinking is not right. Would you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? One love, one heart. Let's get together and be alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and be alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and be alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and be alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and be alright. Let's get together and be alright. Let's get together and be alright.